MFM, everybody. MFM. This is Dr. Randy Short, broadcasting from the bunker of the Angry Black Men's Book Club. And we are very pleased tonight to have friends, true allies, women of the people, my sisters, WASIs, warrior sisters tonight that will be talking to us about the situation facing blacks in Chicago with Mayor Scam Them Johnson or Gayor Scam Them Johnson. Tell everybody, share this, like this. You will be hearing from Sister Temple, and if I get any other Wazis to come, but in particular Chicago Wazis, Chirac, Windy City, Chi-Town Wazis, Ida B. Wells level Wazis. Join me, share this. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to come back and we'll just put on something African and festive. But I want everybody to tell everyone that WASI Speaks is a reality. This will be a program that we can do as often as we can and frequently as I can get guests where we have real Black women, non-feminist fighters who are not trying to kill babies, not trying to be intersectional, not trying to sell out for foreign people, but trying to fight for their community. So just because we hate feminism doesn't mean we hate our sisters. We love our sisters. We love real Black women. The Ida B. Wells, Fannie Lou Hamer type Black women, ride or die Black women. So we want to celebrate the Wazis and we want to hear from them. I'm going to be right back in 1 second. I'll be right back. And I also want to let everybody know that's listening that Dr. Winters and I are going to be going live about 10 p.m. We will be doing the follow-up show to what we did the other day on Blacks in Europe and in America. So get ready, get ready, get ready. We will be doing everything that we need to do to make this thing work. We're not afraid of truth. So come on in. Let me put on something decorative that's showy because I like black, but just a little flash. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Get it off. Back. Isn't this better? All right. Oh, look at this. Wazi Wazi, MFM. We have a Wazi in the house. We are so thankful. We have Sister Temple all the way from Chicago. And I don't mind, you can hate me, but it's 73 degrees here in Washington, D.C. The District of Coons has warm weather. I guess you can't turn tricks in all the snow. So the snow machines are rainbow friendly. This is a punkified ass city. A pedophile president, a stud mayor training a girl up to hate men. Damn. I want to say to everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is WASI Speaks. WASI WASI. That means great warrior sister in patriarch talk. We patriarchs, we love fighter sisters. In fact, one of my favorite pictures is one of my favorite WASIs. I want to show y'all one of the WASIs I love. Because, I have to give sisters hell because we Negroes have had sacred cows where we don't talk about bullshit uh, equally. Because, no, don't worry. I've been ripping you Negroes with my mouth. I'm talking about you male Negroes. I will be doing it with the Bible for the next few weeks as part of Salt Ministry. But y'all want to see a Wazi? You see this woman with the Luke in her hand? That's Mabel Williams. This is one of the baddest ass black women. This is a real ride or die black woman. She was with one of the fathers of black power, Robert Williams from North Carolina. You see her with that gun? And she knew how to shoot too. Robert Williams was an NAACP leader who got kicked out because he insisted on sticking up for Black Second Amendment rights down in Henderson, North Carolina. They tried to set him up. He fled to Cuba. Then from Cuba, he went to Tanzania. And the United States wouldn't even have relations with China until this man, backed up by his WASI, his warrior sister, Mabel Williams. She was beautiful. She even looked good. She lived I think she made it into her 80s. This is what a real black woman is. She's not telling him, "Why are you standing up? I want I want diamond dust in my tampons, not this regular stuff that they have in the store. This crazy stuff, all these divorces and shit. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. But you know that they're good black women. They're righteous black women. Everyone doesn't need a passport. Some of y'all need to get some dick control and have some morality, and you'll find some good women. In fact, probably like some good pussies here. It's not all infected and busted up by ours truly, us being predators. So many. It's true. It's true. It's true. Much of the man hate is self-inflicted. I know from experience, respecting some sisters doesn't get you respect in return. Well, get your passport for them and have visas. Brazil's my favorite place. It's about $90 unless this went up. But if you respect warrior sisters, they're gonna respect you back. Sister Temple, is Sister Rosita coming? Did she get her email yet?
I haven't talked to Sister Rosita since before I talked to you, so I'm not
You want
sure.
to check in with her because I'll roll with you but because I know I sent it to her. I know I sent it. I know I sent it. I
So
know I shared. I always try to. I don't
hold
ever
on,
like
let
to leave people hanging. But look at this. So this is a YZ, and we wanted to encourage instead of just criticizing the Lizzos, the Sexy Reds, the Kamalas, the Fannie Willises, the Letitia James, the Lori Dykefoot,
me.
the what's the one, Henrietta Hippo, Sheila Lee, or Sheila Lee. There's so many female coons, but they're righteous sisters every single solitary day. And we have to recognize them. And we need, in fact, we black men talk about how black women pick all the wrong black men to get with. We get behind all the wrong sisters too.
That's true.
We need to get behind the good black women. Let me get my tambourine. Stand by your woman and tell the white world you love her. Okay, you got to stand by. We have to lead by example, brothers. And when we see a good sister like Sister Temple, we have to we have to empower and support them. Not too long ago, there was a Wazi being disrespected on social media, and ISIS, oh hell no. We don't treat our sister. We can't do this. I called everybody. I won't stand for it. And I'm the weakest nigga of all times. Let me tell you, Lane Riddick's little dogs could beat me up. But I don't like for our women to get raped, abused, hurt, and I can't work with it. I couldn't even stand The Color Purple. When he hit her, when she put his food on the table, I was ready to walk out the theater. I felt like fighting someone. I know it's just acting. I don't like it. I don't process that shit too good. For a man to hit a woman in the face and he's still eating and then nah. I yeah, I just him hitting in the face one time made me hate. I mean, I already hated the film, but the way he hit her in the face, she's on the floor. Mm-mm. 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 Now, I want to also greet you in the great words of the Angry Black Men's Book Club with the words MFM, which stands for motherfucking money. We really need it. And before I go any further, I want to let everybody know today I was talking to one of my WASIs in St. Louis. One of the mothers of the Ferguson movement is my big sister. And, I'm not going to call names, but, they were sharing with me, uh, in fact, one of the biggest, baddest people of all times in history is a multiple powerful, important Black females are in my direct bloodline. I will be talking about that tonight with Dr. Winters around 10 o'clock. We're going to do a show continuing our discussion on Blacks in Europe and America. And if you guys have ever seen the show Game of Thrones, um, let me just tell you, I'm not trying to be funny. That's based on my family. They weren't white people. That was some backstabbing Negroes in England. And when I do my presentation today, don't hate, don't hate, okay? And and if you see me with a tartan on, I'm not wearing a dress. You wore those when you're gonna fight. And probably you need to air your dick out for putting those peat bogs and shit. So anyway, I'm not gonna talk anymore. I should get some water. And oh my God, I have a bug in here, but I'm so thirsty. I may just drink it anyway to gross the women out. Men don't care about this shit. As long as it's not a roach, I'll drink it. Anyway, Sister Temple,
Yes,
thank you so much for joining
thank
us.
you.
Is there any way you can text our sister and let her know? Because I know I emailed her.
Let me see. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Um, Text her. Yes.
I'm wondering, should I add some ice to my bug?
Yeah, you may as well put them on ice.
Okay, I have a question, y'all. Can y'all give me one more minute so I can get some wah? I need to wet my whistle. This one. Okay, y'all have dirty minds. Um, by the way, how y'all enjoying Nookie Haley? See how that's going down. And I said Nookie Haley. Everybody in South Carolina knows she's Nookie Haley too. And has given a Haley lot of Nookie to a whole lot of people they're not married to. Thank God for the WASIs out here. And let me see. So I'll do this. Uh, be prepared. I want to remind everybody, give you some more announcements. We'll be doing a show about 10:15. Dr. Winters and I. I will have moderators soon, so we'll be able to handle people and all that other stuff. Because some folks are silly. I don't know. I mean, I'm a clown, but I'm not a stupid ass clown. Some people are dumb fuck ass clown. They're the kind of people that were the class clown, but they were so stupid they failed. I was a class clown. I mean, and I can embarrass the teaching shit and still pass. I got a B for a bitch. you know, Stupid ass teachers hate smart students. We'll have a long discussion about that another time. Now, look, let me just tell you this. Not too long ago, within the last few months, uh, Chicago got a new Gayor. They went from a ugly, short, um, Lords of the Ring looking bitch to a bathhouse music loving Gayor who looks like a tranny Barbara Jordan with, I don't know, implanted beard. And he had his hair cut. I mean, it looked like something Vin Rames would wear in some soft porn film as he became famous in Hollywood. Um, Chicago is ground zero for our struggle. Baltimore is ground zero on the East Coast. LA is ground zero on the West Coast. These communities are under attack. And I want you to hear, in particular, the people who are going to catch a lot of hell will be our sisters, and that's why we need to hear from them. So, without further ado, and anyone that wants to see this, you can go to my StreamYard channel. I send the links out. So if you don't want to look at my face, I haven't used magic shade so you can see the 5 o'clock shadow. And I'm not trying to have a face like a woman. So, and a woman that don't like to feel a man's beard probably is in the women, because men have beards. So stop nagging. Um, you can go to my StreamYard channel and check out Sister Temple. You can see her wonderful face. And I want to let you guys know tomorrow we may be doing 4 different things on this channel. It depends on if I get it right. I may participate in something for seniors with Sister Giselle. We're going to do Salt Ministry tomorrow. And from 3 o'clock to 4, we're going to have Elder Claude Anderson and an effort that we're calling the Black, United New Black Media Matrix. And so, those of you who have platforms that are socially conscious, that are tired of bullshit, tired of when we talk about celebrities and sports and constantly stirring up shit instead of staying on message around Black rights at all times, 24/7, you need to reach out and see how we can work with each other. So when we get important guests, whatever, people don't have to stumble over getting people to come to your channel. You can have people that we may meet or plug into. And that would, because some of y'all have shitty content. I don't have a lot of views because I'm recognized as a terror risk for involvement Middle Eastern issues, Libya, Sudan, Iran, and I'm also being watched because of the Emirates. That's a long story. I didn't do anything. But anyway, went to Cuba and stuff. I didn't make the trip to Yemen or North Korea, though I wanted to go. So people watch. But I want y'all to hear Claude Anderson tomorrow. Black men and all you Christians and everybody that's not a Christian, I have to tell you the truth. It's the most annoying part being a Christian. If you don't believe in Jesus, you don't go to the nice place. That's a message from my spiritual sponsor called God. We will be doing tomorrow 1, 2, or maybe 3 messages, God's message to Black Americans. One of my favorite sermons is going to be, does God control you or does dick control you? Because we know dick control is at the heart of why Black men are so damn weak and why Black men and Black women don't get along. It is the misallocation of dick. In fact, if you wanted to see the rainbow stuff go away, stop allocating dick. That thing would just shrivel up. We have to stop being degenerate strumpets for everything that comes along, passing out STD canapes. Having said that, I've talked long enough. Sister Temple, I want you to turn your mic up as high as you can go. And I'm going to just feature you. I can take myself off. I'm going to remove myself.
Can you hear me? Let's see. Let me turn that off. Can you hear me? Mm. Mm. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I had you on Bluetooth and I had to turn the Bluetooth off because it wasn't coming across.
Okay. Now, you reached out to Sister Rosita?
I did. I sent her a text message letting her know that we were on and
Okay.
that you, and then I just forwarded the email to her. Um, I don't know.
Okay. So let me do this. Let me introduce Sister Temple. Sister Temple is a WASI native Chicagoan, and she is a proud mother of very brilliant children. She's a community activist, she's a fighter, and she's a real Aquarian black sister. Someone that, if you got to know, that just what you see is what you get. We've been talking for what, 4 years now? And
Yes.
and just that what you see is what you get. She knows about what the hell is happening in Chicago. She's gotten together a group of very, very, very powerful black women who are fighting against the illegals, the school closures, and all this stuff that Gayor,
Mm-hmm.
y'all can say that with me, say Gayor. It feels
Gayor.
Gayor scammed them. Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Temple, without further ado, what's happening in Chicago?
Oh my God. What's not?
She took herself. She'll be back up. Um, don't worry. It's been, let me tell you something. When you do this, halfway talk about black stuff and technical things constantly happen. We're late because this thing took me 30 minutes when it should only take 5. Um, the Wi-Fi won't work. The hardwire won't work. And I just keep going. Now, let me see. Where did she go? Let me see if I have to re-invite her. I apologize. I didn't know that was going to happen. And then again, maybe they took her off. Um, let me do one thing. One thing real fast. Let me see. Okay. Now, let me just greet everybody while I'm waiting for her to work this thing out. I'm sorry. I thought that I gave her a nice segue to come up. Uh, anyway, I want to do this while and I absolutely want to have this work. Uh, this is why we need our own studio. That's all right. Let me see. Where did you go, sis? Let me see if I can find her. I may have to bring her into another line. These people are just wearing me out. Okay. And I apologize. I didn't know that was going to happen. You have to get ready for things when they happen and be prepared for it. hmm Hold on one second. Uh, hmm. Oh, there she goes. Okay.
My phone fell off the contraption. I apologize.
Okay. Well, see, we need stuff made by Black Americans again. All this Asian shit don't work. I said it. The Asian shit doesn't work. I mean, the Passport Brothers gonna figure that out. Um. Anyway, it does break, and it doesn't last this long.
No, it doesn't.
I'm sorry. Now,
Me too.
um,
I apologize.
that's okay. Well, life is hard, so let's do this again.
Hmm.
You're on the front lines there in Chicago where they're dumping, little bigot governor of Texas, who has an opportunity to show how big his balls is by telling Biden to fuck himself.
Yes.
And and Biden probably would say, I've already done that. So Biden wouldn't get the joke. He's so stupid. Um, he needs to stand up and seal the border. But sister, you guys are being overrun by illegals. I mean, people defecation in people's yards, porches, stealing people's mail, knocking on people's doors, demanding clothes, food, and shit. All kinds of prostitution, including kids, drugs, fentanyl. Would you please talk about Chicago? And I still didn't get my water because you like walked out on me. I,
I
I don't
fell
see
out.
I don't see
I fell out.
I don't see no bread. So you didn't get the vote for bread. Let me get some start talking, share that. I'll be right back.
Sure, sure. Well, as Dr. Short said, I'm Sister Temple here in Chicago. I'm on the front line. One of the fights that is going on in tandem that also involves this illegal immigration invasion that's walking across the nation right now and front and center here in Chicago is the education system. I recently transferred my children from charter to CPS, Chicago Public Schools. Um, they tested high and were able to get in both eight honor roll students, but they weren't accepted into the same schools. So I, uh, believing that in the past, just like in the past, that children who went to selective enrollment schools or magnet schools were offered bus service, uh, if that's what you choose. And I, of course, chose bus service. Well, when school started, I was told that there was no bus service. So that put me in the mix of 4 hours out of my day commuting from the southwest side of Chicago to the uh, lakefront of Chicago, the neighborhood of Hyde Park. So I'm going all the way southwest, all the way southeast. And as I said, this is a 4 hours out of the day. Well, the parents were told that only students who are STLS, this is one of those things where, you get your 3 words or 4 letters and you got to figure out what's going on. So I had to understand what STLS is, and then students who are 504 IEP students would receive bus service. So my children were neither STLS, which is homeless, i.e. illegal alien immigrant children, because let's be factual. Our children have always couch surfed, as they call it, have always been. Some of them, unfortunately, are not in stable housing because their parents are not in stable housing. So we have a lot of instances where our children, Black children, children off the soil here, are not getting the services that they need or the attention that they need. So I was told that these children, 504 IEP students and the STLS students, were the only students that will receive this service. So I decided that I would go to the CPS, Chicago Public Schools, first board meeting of the school year, to put it on the record that this is in fact a financial hardship. The public school is not public anymore in Chicago. 2 of my cars broke down commuting my children. I had to get another car, a car note, and this is going into my income. And there is no funds where they have been allocated, but there's $117 million on the table that Springfield, Illinois, allocated to the transportation system. So that thrust me into this education battle, which also entails the mayor, because the mayor, along with the CPS public school system, is in fact purging Black children from the school system. Now, you tell children that if they test well, their parents apply them, and they make the lottery, wait on a wait list, etc., test on a Saturday morning, make the grade, all of that. You're telling parents that this is what allows them to get into school. So when I got to this CPS meeting, I learned that all of that is null and void now. It doesn't matter if your child tests to get into school and is welcomed into the school. The parents are expected to transport them across the cities. We are dealing with a busing system now, a busing system gone defunct. when we fought that battle when Martin Luther King was alive for children to be able to go to the schools of their choice. Now that choice no longer exists, or if it does exist, you're going to have to commute, pay out of your pocket, and become broke. So when I went to this meeting, I began to understand that this purge is occurring with our children so that the children of the illegal aliens that are illegally immigrating into this country through the back door are now allocated funds for busing. They're now able to enter into any school of their choice, selective enrollment, magnet, that our children in the past have been expected and are still are expected to take tests, be on wait lists, have the grades, be on the honor roll, etc. But they're not welcome to busing only if they are 504, which is IEP, special needs students, or if they are this STLS, which is now homeless, which we know now because the nation has seen the tent situation that was going on here. So in my mind, as I'm processing all of this was for a purpose of showing these people being poor and destitute, putting a picture, if you will, of poverty of another nation's people who are marching across this country. And now in this city, land and police stations, shelters are being built for them. Now we talk about they can get bus services and they can come into our schools. They can, without immunizations, without testing, they'll have uniforms, they'll have anything needed and necessary for their survival and for their success, while our students are no longer bused, are no longer going to be welcome into these schools, because the next step in this purge, as I'm calling it, is that Brandon Johnson, this mayor, has announced that there would be no more magnet schools, no more selective enrollment, all the while these illegal immigrant children are welcomed into these schools with open arms. So as I'm hearing this at this board meeting saying that everything is going well, the migrant, because this being referred to as migrant, when we know if you don't call a thing by its name, then it doesn't exist. This is illegal. This is a backdoor invasion. Our back door is open. We are endangered. We've been distributed a disease blanket because these children are sick. Our children were sick beyond belief before the Christmas break. So we're just looking at an onslaught of all of our resources, including education. Next, it will be housing, because he wants to take that money that Mayor Scum Emanuel, and the Rotten Potato Daily, all set on with HUD and CHA. Our children, our families have been displaced and started leaving here as a result of public housing being disbanded. And now he wants to reallocate those CHA funds for the purposes of housing illegal aliens coming across this country, walking into this city, walking into this state. They'll have everything that we don't have.
And so, have you heard, is it true that there are now vigilantes targeting rogue illegals in the greater Chicago area?
Now that's news to me. I have not heard mention of any vigilante retribution, but I will say this. This is Chicago. Chicago is a gangster city. We know that.
America's gangster nation.
That's right. And I don't see any of our brothers and sisters who will stand by and allow this because they're violent with us. You know, I don't see them standing by and allowing their loved ones to be attacked or their children to be attacked. I do know this. I do know that at these schools and in these neighborhoods that these illegal immigrants are walking up to our children during lunchtime and recess and during their commute to and from school, panhandling them. Now, we know that they've been let out of penitentiaries, prisons, and there's a language barrier, and they're going without, and they're seeing our children traveling to and fro. They're in danger.
Let me ask you a question. And this is my challenge to Black men. It's a pitiful, sorry ass group of men that allow their children to be attacked by foreigners. It's a sorry ass day across the country. And this is why I get so goddamn angry with black men. All of this weightlifting, the
Mm.
strong back, and none of this goddamn physicality is used to protect our community. It's a goddamn disgrace, black men. I don't want to hear how big your dick is. I don't care how many rims you got on your car, the grill on your teeth, how many babies you're not feeding. If folk can come in and dispossess us without a fight, we're lower than pay toilet sex queens. All of us as a collective. Um, Black manhood is the new faggotry because there's no way that this could happen if manhood really existed. Okay, folks can kill, folks can beat, folks can mug, folks can rob, and that's just why I talk about bitchified black men. All these bitch ass black men who don't fight against other groups. They will fight an individual, they'll get in a gang. You're not in my fraternity. It should be called a sorority because half of y'all queens. There's nothing, and I'm telling you, black men, y'all the biggest, sorriest haters in this country because there's nothing that makes you so angry that you're willing to not just face harm, but use lethality to demand respect. I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything to anyone unlawfully, but there's no way. And I'm going to say this to sisters, all of you guys, girls who like bad boys, if that bad boy is only good for going to jail and eating your SNAP proceeds, and they won't fight for you, they'll fight you if you got another woman or women, another man, but won't protect your kids, like this dude in Baltimore that stabbed the child of his girlfriend to death. This is why people bother us. They've sized black men up as weak bitches. We haven't had, I'm having this goddamn conversation. I have it in Salt Ministry and I go to the Bible. When men are effeminized, when they're bastards, which a lot of you are, you didn't have fathers, you're very feminine. You may be muscular, but your emotions, you don't think rationally. This couldn't happen in any other community to any other people other than us because black men are too busy watching basketball or you're so hard until everybody walks over you. If you guys were hard, they couldn't open businesses in our neighborhood. If we were hard, they couldn't put drugs in our neighborhood. A lot of this has to do with us being godless, weak, flaccid punks. And the fact that you like having sex with a woman, but you won't provide, defend, fight for her, to me, a fag would do that. He just want to see a man too. There are a whole lot of men that are providing for women and they're not even straight. Where is the utility of all this black macho in terms of some concrete operational shit? I don't see it. I'm angry. I know what it's like to work a job and the black men all fought each other like little girls. You had to beg them to stop fighting. All the other men working together and all the black men being bitches, snitching on each other, running to the Latinos, just lying, setting all the other black men up. And before you know it, none of them got jobs anymore because nobody likes to work with stooly, screw, liar, bitchified men. Nobody except for queens themselves. And white queens hate black men the most. You got a better ass, bigger dick, better looking body. They hate you too. You're a party favor. And by the way, they're the ones that stigmatize black men as all having AIDS and STDs when we know who gets most of the pharmaceuticals for STDs in the country. It can't be us because we're not the majority of men. So if you're intersectional with the sex crowd, you're a fraud too. In fact, I've seen more black men speaking out for baby killing for gay rights and even the rights of illegals. But you don't hear them say a damn thing about trafficking, school closures, any of that. And I know I don't run after views. I couldn't give a damn if I just get 50 people watching. Some of you guys patronize these other channels and nobody's saying the shit I'm saying. And it should be. Maybe because a lot of those folks are bitches themselves. Because a real man would be saying, brother, why is this happening? Why do we allow this? And I'm one person. You mean you can get in DC thousands of people in the street over go-go music, but there's no commensurate movement when black seniors are getting $5 and $6 a month for SNAP and illegals are getting $800 a month. How in the hell? And you bastards are living off some of these people that are getting SNAP benefits. You know, the world is bigger than your rectum or your penis or your nutsack. And for you that like oral, your lips, your jaws. And that's where we've become a degenerate, pathetic group of men. In fact, this passport shit is going to go south. If you take that same simp ass, weak ass, punk ass, dick GPS mindset to other places in the world, they're going to start hating, killing, and robbing your asses over there too. See, we can't continue to run from the stand that we have to make as men that we're not going to get fucked with anymore. All of this stuff in America would stop tomorrow if a considerable number of black men said hell to the no. In reality, most black men don't want to lose anything when they don't have shit. They just say, well, I'm not going to. You know, it's interesting. The rich white men that started America, they said they pledged their sacred honor. Those people in that Constitutional Convention, they all were ready to go down for what they wanted as white men. I don't see that kind of coalescence in black American men. And that's because most of you model yourselves after your moms who are probably emotional wreck. And this is a problem, Temple. The bastard culture has taken over the community. All the guys that grew up without dads, I mean, they could be like 8 feet tall and a little white dude say something to them. I think I was talking the other night about a dude that was almost 7 feet tall where I worked in the restaurant, and the white man would feel him on his behind. And they would call me gay because I went to Howard. And I says, but the white boss doesn't touch my ass. I need a job. So it's straight if I need a job and you touch my ass. But if I speak standard English, oh my God, I'm an AIDS victim. I am so sick of shallow, substanceless black manhood. Because that's what, if they saw it, they would fear black manhood. And you know what? We won't even put on a damn show for them until they're behind bars. And even that, you know, there's some like, you know, cowboys to girls shit going on up in there. Although people say it don't happen in prison no more. Bullshit. That's why people keep going back. Anyway, back to you, sister. Now, where's our other lady at? Where'd she go? I know I said, if you got the email, I sent her the same one.
I forwarded my email to her, and then I sent her a text message because I'm using my phone for this broadcast. So,
can you call her?
And then my other phone. You want me to come off and then call, or how would I?
Because all you need to do is go back to the email that I initially sent you, and you'll come right back in.
Okay, yeah, I'll give her a call.
You won't lose this. I just want I don't know where my damn WASIs. I am so, oh my God. Hold on. I need to add Sister Valerie in there. Let me see if I can get Valerie. But she's not in Chicago. I wanted to hear from Chicago. By the way, sister, I want to ask something else. Has crime gone up? Has crime gone up in Chicago since the illegals have been there?
Yes, crime's gone up. They're not only committing crimes downtown, they're committing crimes in the suburbs now. I just saw a newscast where they've been calculating in the suburbs the crime that's going on. And the thing is that Normally, when you're an immigrant and they are illegal, when you do a crime, you're supposed to be deported. So, we're looking at treason. Uh,
So wait. So let me ask you a question, because I have some stupid ass people in the audience.
no.
There's some stupid ass people in the audience. Let me ask you a question right now. Who do you think people are going to vote for in Chicago for president, black, now that the illegals have been allowed to overrun you?
From what I'm hearing, I believe that the greater portion of the votes will go to Trump.
Wait a minute. Say that again. For all of you stupid ass people that I've been talking to for years, I never told anybody to love one party or the other. But just as sure as I'm sitting here talking to you, Joe Biden assaulted me.
Mm.
And black folks get lynched in Delaware, and black folks in Delaware are mostly poor. And black folks in Delaware, you'll never hear about police slayings or police brutality in Delaware. Black folks live in total fear where Joe Biden and run things. Joe Biden's been president for 3 years. There hasn't been one fucking news story on blacks in Delaware. Even when he's running for president, there's not one of these fucking coons. Roland Martin, you closet bitch nigger. None of these people has ever even gone and put a microphone in front of a person from Delaware in 3 years. Oh, I think she's here.
Wonderful.
They'll need to connect their mic cam. Can you tell them to connect their mic cam? In 3 years, not one black person from Delaware has done any major news program. That couldn't happen except because the boule, until black people turn. Until black people turn on our black elite. I'm talking about throwing some rotten eggs, some rotten fruit, some flower bombs, yelling at people, turning your back on them. If the Palestinians can go into a black church and act like that, why the hell are we acting like these pedophile preachers are real men of God? That's religious real estate ownership is different from being a house of worship, a house of God. It's a house of fraud.
Mm.
If you want to see things change, folk need to start acting like men. There was a man, I don't necessarily agree with what he did, but the preacher messed with his wife and he shot that dude in the pulpit with the shotgun. I would not have shot the pastor with the shotgun, but I really understand why he shot the pastor with the shotgun. Until our traitor black people start feeling the rejection, ostracism, hostility, and yes, I'm calling for it, hatred of their corruption, we're going to keep having this situation everywhere. Everywhere. Oprah Winfrey with $100 million wasn't even feeding the actors and actresses for the color purple. Everybody knows anything about the entertainment thing. You got a green room. You're giving people a liquid refreshment, beverages, cook. You give them something. For 3 years, I worked for PBS. It was my duty to make certain that people had something to eat, something to drink. You took care of them. If they wanted something, coffee, tea, seltzer water, soda, ginger ale, juice, you provide that even for a show that the person comes in for a 3 or 4 minute interview. I'm just telling y'all, how in the hell a person worked all day in Georgia heat and you didn't provide water or food?
Mm.
And you know what? Oprah Winfrey is an example of no good, despicable black elites. They know that most of us are pathetic, trifling, status climbers wanting to be around black people successful because we've been told we're nobody, and our dumbasses believe it. And so just being around them, just being in proximity to someone that's made it is enough. I don't have to feed them. Oprah Winfrey would never do that shit to Julia Roberts or Brad Pitt, no, no, or some Jewish actor. Let me tell you, if Oprah Winfrey had to eat gefilte fish out their ass, she'd do it. Until we go after these people and say, I don't give a damn what you look like. If you do not do for me or mine, we're enemies.
That's
Real
right.
talk. I'm after you. I don't like you. I don't like you kids. Let me tell you something. I'm so glad I grew up with white people because I could have been a stupid, urban, inner city black person who has low standards of this bastard slut culture that's everywhere. I wish it wasn't here. And we've become a very strange people of late. Let me tell you something. When our school was being desegregated, the white people even attacked the children of the pro uh have more black students in the school. They went after their kids. They said, your mom is a traitor. I mean, their kids would go after the other kids. These white parents taught their children to harass the nigger
Mhm.
lover kids who had nigger lover parents. Kids come home crying, screaming at parents, you have the niggers all day. I have to fight all day because you love niggers. We need to start doing that to our traders.
Mhm.
They would crack because you know what? Rollover Martin and all of these people want to be loved, even though they're disgusting people. And white people don't really like them. They know this. That's why they join the fraternities and do all that homoerotic shit, gay gays, homemade.
Mhm.
All of y'all do a whole bunch of little nasty, ratchet shit. Uh, what's it? Nuts and butts, and people marching around up there. Yes, and because it's lonely once you leave the security of your neighborhood, your family, your friends, and in the white
Mm.
world, everyone hates you. All you have to do is put a little bit of pressure on these people and they'll fold. Proof of that is when Oprah Winfrey was attacking, um, what's his name? Hustle Simmons and Michael Jackson. I know Judge Joe Brown and I, we went after Oprah for a couple of weeks. In fact, we went after Joy Reid. I talked about Joy Reid's hair so bad that bitch got a makeover. I started talking about her hair looking like roadkill. I mean, they made her up and everything. I worked in television. They will help you if you're ugly. They will make you look good in order to save the equipment in the studio and all the staff that have to look at you. They will get you clothes. So as I said, Joy Reid, nigga, even if you try to save money or your husband don't like you, they will get you something to wear. Cause that stuff you got on, I know drag queens down at the Port Authority that dress better than you do. Now, don't show your immigrant status in your, your sartorial presentation. I rode Joy Reid so bad. I saw Joy Reid after I had gone in on her. I didn't even know who she was. She had on makeup, everything. Had some electrolysis so the hair wouldn't come out her chin. Her macho looking self. She looks like Don Cheadle. You know she looks like Don Cheadle as a trans. That's why they put her on TV. She's like Michelle Obama. We don't know who these people really are. How come you never see her with her husband?
Mhm.
When you give these people hell, when you make fun of them, sticks and stones may break my bones. Words, that's bullshit. Words do hurt. That's why in repressive countries, the dictators lock up all the people that criticize them. They can't stand. You want to see someone fall apart? Tell a white person about American history. I have to start yelling and screaming. You didn't even say anything about them. You can talk about John Wilkes Booth. You can talk about the Klan. You can talk about the Nazis. Talk about the red shirt. And they start saying that America's not a racist country. And they got a hood on their head. I said, what's that? Oh, this is camouflage. It says, well, you're not skiing. You would never understand. You people, you're pulling the race card. Anyway, we have Sister Rosita here. Sister Rosita, welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to give you the greeting, WASI, WASI, which means Great Warrior Sister. We also want to give you the great greeting of MFM,
Mhm.
MFM, MFM. That means motherfucking money. That is we. When you say reparations to a lot of niggas, they don't believe it. When you say motherfucking money, yeah, I know people. When you say, when you say reparations, what's that? Hmm. Motherfucking money, yeah. What's the motherfucking money? that's that's why I said I had to have. And by the way, MFM is from Awazi. It is a black woman that inspired the motherfucking money movement here. Who was that? Well, they lived in Chicago. Mahalia Jackson, my mentor. I always tell the story. My mentor, the black man from Jamaica, who was his name is Chauncey Moore. He was a Episcopalian minister who helped educate the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
Mm.
But not only that, he was sharing with me one of my favorite stories that Mahalia Jackson had been at this big black Baptist church, and she had sung, nobody knows, right? She brought the house down, and when she went back to the counting room, just like at the Las Vegas casinos, churches have counting rooms too, and they're not counting souls. They want your
Mhm.
money. They don't want you. Okay. I'm just telling you, I'm a preacher's kid. I don't like most preachers. Preachers are full of shit. In fact, if you line most preachers up and put a tube to their ass, we'd have enough liquefied natural gas to power the whole world.
Mm.
Okay. Proof that they're full of shit is that the nicer the church, the more broke the community is around it. That's some bullshit for you. Anyway, Mahalia Jackson went in there and she says, God bless you. I feel like the Lord just used me, and I just was, and says, now, you have my money? And he says, oh, yeah, we didn't take in enough to. And Mahalia reached into her brassiere, pulled out her derringer, and said, give me my motherfucking money. I want my motherfucking money. You
Right.
motherfuckers, y'all go give me my motherfucking money. And Mahalia Jackson got paid.
Mhm.
And so, in honor of Mahalia Jackson, I say motherfucking money. And we all, when you say motherfucking money to white people, when you say reparations or that will never, you say motherfucking money, they feel like you're gonna take that shit. We need to use whatever power we can. And so, Sister Rosita, you're doing so much in Chicago. Please introduce yourself and talk about the schools, talk about Gayor, scam them, Johnson. You can talk about the sorry ass aldermen. You could talk about the illegals. You could talk about, the people on the north side, west side. You could talk about the fake people in the loop. Whatever you want to do, but do it. The floor is yours.
Well, um, good evening.
Good
And
evening.
I just, I was just sitting here thinking about there's a lot going on in Chicago. I predominantly focus on education and
Hmm.
the schools issue because, they say fight the battle where you meet,
Where you
whenever
are.
you meet the oppression, you fight it. And I found it in the school system.
I have a question to
So,
ask you,
mhm.
and it's in line with that. I have a friend here who created the whole trauma module to help kids deal with death, murder, school shootings, and all of that. It's used all over the country, but she got fired. And she told me she's on a blacklist here in DC with a PhD, perfect record, everything, but she's on the blacklist. And all the other black teachers and counselors in DC, a lot of them have been fired. Is there a blacklist in Chicago? Not in
Definitely.
Chicago. This what?
Yes, definitely. There is, and that's where we come in. It's called the Do Not Hire list. So
Mm,
it started way back. It's been there for years, but they finally disclosed in March of 2021 that the list was real. When I worked for Chicago Teachers Union, I was the Southside Regional Organizer for Karen Lewis,
mhm,
and we went into the schools based upon the mass firing of black teachers.
mm.
4,500 had been fired before Karen came in.
Wait, how many? Do
4,500
y'all
have
have
been.
that many police in Chicago?
No, the police numbers are down. Firefighters, all the city jobs are
So
down.
so so they fired 45. Are they all black?
Yes, the 4,500.
Damn.
This is, let me just give you a little bit. In the
Yeah.
late 90s, that we had the Chicago Teachers Union was about 40,000 members. And of those 40,000 members, between 45 and 50% were African American. So that was about 18 to 19,000. Today, the Chicago Teachers Union, because of the proliferation of charter schools, they're 24,000 and 4,000 are black.
What?
So, and
What?
dropping.
They've gone from half to 25%.
Yes, but the numbers, because the union has shrank by about 40 down to about 15,000. And of the 15,000 teacher slots that were lost, 14,000 were black teachers.
14,000 jobs.
So we're down to from that 18, 19,000 down to four.
Hold
So
on.
all the other
Do the charter
demographics,
schools discriminated? The charter schools discriminate against black kids?
black kids and black teachers.
Mhm.
They want these jobs for young white people
That
that
don't
just
want to
got out of
teach. Is that
college.
correct? That aren't
Yeah,
even cut out
that
for it?
want to get their loans. It's almost like I
Teach for
was a
America.
graduate.
I get it. They're
Yeah, I'm a
using.
graduate of Teach for Chicago. It was the Harold Washington's. It was the precursor program to Teach for America.
Mhm.
Harold Washington developed Teach for Chicago, which is almost identical to Teach for
No, they
America,
stole it.
but he developed it to recruit minority
Mhm.
teachers, black and brown teachers. So
Repeat that
those
again, please, because I need to let you know I was rejected for Teach for America back in 1991,
uh-huh.
Mm.
and with a Harvard degree.
Okay, but here, this particular program was, you would have been accepted here for because they were looking for black teachers, black females, males. I was hired under Teachers for Chicago, and so after I got in and graduated, I started, and Harold died, and Daly took over. And then when Daly took over, all what we call TFCs, Teach for Chicago, they became TFCs that were all white. There were no more black TFCs, white and Hispanic. And then they morphed the program into Teach for America here. So we don't have Teach for Chicago anymore. It's Teach for America here. So as we move forward, now, if you look at the demographics, the whites are always 50%. No matter how smart the union gets, they still maintain their 50%.
Is the
So
union
white men,
dominated? Is the union controlled by GCPs,
uh, GCPs.
God's chosen people?
Oh, yes, yes, definitely. And let me say, not only the local union, Randy Weingartner, who jumped 3 million into Brandon Johnson's campaign. Randy Weingartner went. She's a lawyer, and she became a substitute for 6 months and ran for the AFT president. So she's not a teacher. And let me say this: the caucus that Brandon is in was our caucus. We Brandon wasn't there when we were running. When our caucus won the leadership, then Karen Lewis then turned on all the core members
Mm.
and became the opposing caucus and hired them. So these people that you see with Brandon Johnson, they're not the original core people that fought and won the election. They were just people that came in afterwards to benefit off of the work that we had done.
Mhm.
And Karen just turned on all the core members, white and black, after she won.
Mhm.
But I wanted to say with Brandon Johnson now, the funny thing is Brandon took the position that I left. So this is why it's so surprising that he's mayor.
What's his background? Does he have?
Uh,
Is he
well,
well educated? Is
no,
he okay? So how did everybody knows? I think that he's Barbara Jordan reincarnated. She just got a beard. He
possibly.
has the same glasses as she does.
Possibly. But let me say with Brandon, just a little bit of history. The core people that they brought in are not teachers.
Hmm.
Most of them are career clerks. They're clerks at the school, or they are novice beginning teachers, like the one who's the vice president, Jackson Potter. These are people who taught for 1 or 2 years, and these people are not educators. They're community organizers, and
Okay,
the
and let me
group
ask
of
you a question.
uh-huh.
Is it true
Mhm.
in this Chicago school system that hundreds and hundreds of children are sexually abused and it's covered up by the Chicago public school system? And these are black kids who are just whatever happens and just nobody knows anything about it. That's and are some of these things happening where these uh, bright-eyed teachers, I keep seeing them over and over again. They're typically white females who just can't get enough of underage black male armor hot dog, and sometimes Hispanic too. Maybe they have put some salsa on theirs. Does that happen in Chicago?
Well, there was a sexual scandal, a big one here. But it's interesting you would say that, because when we talk about the do not hire list, I actually filed a lawsuit on behalf of the do not hire teachers. I had to move forward on my lawsuit, which has been going on for over a year. But they decided that these people would be put on the do not hire list, black teachers. So when Karen them came in, Karen did not win a single black elementary school during in the 2010 election. I have the data, and I look at it, and when I saw it, I knew that the elementary black schools were going to be sacrificed.
Mhm.
So I began to work to get schools off the list, which wasn't a part of their program.
Hmm.
They wanted the black schools to close. When you think about it,
They
they
close about
didn't.
80 schools or more, or 100 schools or more than that. Yeah,
163.
yes. And wait a second.
163.
What's his name? The guy who plays pickup basketball with Obama. I hope he doesn't play anything else.
Arnie Duncan.
Yes.
Yeah, he closed about the first 100. People never talk about the first 100 schools, because the only reason why people know about the 50 schools, the union wanted to use that to take political power away from and to become mayor, as they've done. So they focused on the 50 schools, but they're actually 163 schools
Mhm.
that close, and they have been going on, and that's how we lost the first 4,500.
Mhm. Can I
So
ask
we
you a question?
mhm.
It's a I asked one, you don't have to, but
Mhm.
has Barack Obama ever done one damn thing for blacks in Chicago? Or Michelle Obama? Maybe you like them. I call him Ofaga, but maybe you like him.
Not our teachers were fired under Obama's Race to the Top program. And you've heard about the Atlanta teachers. So that's I mean, they we under Obama, Arnie Duncan, we lost that about 8,000 teachers before he left.
Okay,
So
so
the
wait a minute.
first,
Obama, because
Mhm.
do black people in Chicago like Obama? Because do you know Suzanne Penn or Algerine Penn? They're kind of
No, I
acts.
don't.
I was told that the Obamas have been warned not to move back to Chicago.
Oh,
Is
well,
that
they have a nice.
do people like the Obama still? Do they work? Does he go to Bud Billiken?
I don't think so, not anymore. I don't know more. A lot of people have changed. They woke up. They see. Well, I think the thing of it is they see the condition we're in, which is just awful here.
So it didn't
So
get better. So when Obama said, let me do my Obama. First thing I want to say that this woman here, she's a liar. No, she's miserable. Now, she hasn't done anything for herself.
mhm.
She's a she's a disgruntled employee of the Chicago public school system. She could have kept the job, but she probably didn't want to show up. Like a lot of people, they think their color or their sex or something is going to get them through the door. When you got to work hard, you got to put yourself out there every day. And there are too many people who are resting on their racial laurels, thinking it's somehow because of melanin in their skin. Everybody's got it. Even white people have melanin in their skin. Has anybody ever told the black people that, slavery's over? I mean, we don't need you to pick cotton. We just need you to show up. And so I just want to give, on behalf of myself and Michelle, I say Michael when you're not looking. I want to disagree with everything she said. We closed the schools because the kids weren't going. They want to hang out. They want to roll a blunt. And this sister wants to just keep all of her friends. Maybe they're sorors. They have a tailgate party, have some, some, what's it, pink royale, whatever, what you drink down there on the west side, south side. Or maybe, you have some, what's it stuff called, syrup. But I just want to disagree. And my friend Arnie Duncan, aside from going to the same bathhouse as me and Rom, is a hell of a basketball player for a white guy. And I should know because I'm half white myself.
Mhm. Well, let me just say this. We the story is in the data, in the numbers. And so first of all, the idea that you are the head of education with the bachelor's in sociology
Mm,
says it all. You weren't even, you were too lazy to get the credentials so you could be called a superintendent. So, and that's what was required to be the head of the school. They had to create a positions for him and Paul Vallis and call them CEOs of Chicago Public Schools, because to be in charge, you had to have a superintendent's license, which they did not have.
okay.
But let's go back to the data. So
Mm,
now the funny thing, or not the unusual thing, is that as I was keeping documentation on a drop of black teachers, but also I started noticing that the drop of black teachers, there was a correlation between the drop of black teachers and the drop of black students. So we were looking for over a period of 10 years, 1.7 to 2% of black teachers and black students were simultaneously being eliminated. So we lost over 100,000 black children as well. And that is why they said we'll close the 50 schools. Now, when they closed these schools, they put a lot of people on the do not hire list, people that just when they closed my school in 2001, all of the black fraternities, sororities came to the schools and hired their sorors.
mm-hmm.
If you were left in the building without a job when the building closed, you went on the do not hire list. And so you couldn't find work. So, but they would come and interview. And if you were AKA, if you were Delta, if you were Alpha, for the men, whatever, Kappa, you had a job. They
Crap.
would pick you up. But if you weren't, you were on your own. So, and the do not hire list existed then. Uh, People didn't know it was a secret list. Well, one of my friends uncovered the list, and that's why they had to disclose in March of 2021. Yes, this list is for real. So I had been organizing through the pandemic because because Daley took a pension holiday for 20 years. This is what caused the firing of the black teachers. He had no money to pay the people's pension. He could not pay these teachers who were 34 years, because a lot of them were making six figures and their pensions were six figures. So he could not do anything in terms of paying them. So he went and told the principals to, by any means necessary, fire anyone with 17 years or more. In comes Karen Lewis. Karen Lewis then
Who's
signs,
GCP, right?
yeah, yes, the
Yeah.
half and half. And Karen Lewis comes in, and she's half and half black. So what happened is she comes in, and this is the amazing thing. She was supposed to be the savior. She was gonna fight. Karen comes and she signs a union busting bill that gave away teacher seniority rights.
She sounds
That
like Obama,
yeah, well,
half and half, half
yeah,
straight too.
yes. And so she did this, and she gave the bill. I mean, the worst of it we got back. Um, but she gave away teacher due process, right? So if you did something you couldn't file a grievance, you had no due process, right? If they close your school. Now Karen did that because she knew when she signed this bill all the teachers were going to be fired, and then they only have four lawyers at the union. So if I've got 10,000 people being fired, or at that time five or six, that would have meant those teachers would have had the right for due process. So she gave up the due process
Hmm.
and said, let the principals fire them on the spot. Then she gave up their seniority rights, which means anytime there's an economic layoff, that the teachers will not go into the teacher pool where they would have been there for 3 years. They went straight to the unemployment line.
Hmm.
And she gave up the longer school day with no pay, which meant that the teachers are now working 2 extra hours. So that was a 25% pay cut.
Cut.
And so there were just a boatload of things. So that's what she did. She went and signed away everything.
Mhm.
Now, Rom, they said when Rom found out she had signed the union busting bill, he laughed so hard he fell off the chair because he kept saying, and then Karen went on strike. Well, I was in the room when the strike was playing. And when Karen said she was going on strike, I thought the teachers are not coming back. I knew they weren't coming back. That's and 2 weeks later, Ron closed the 50 school. I knew they weren't coming back when she called the strike because she had given up their seniority rights. So we knew when we read that, heads were getting ready to roll.
Hmm.
And so Ron came, of course, closed the 50 schools, and then the union started saying, Ron closed the 50 schools, and 50 schools, and making it look like it was all Ron, but Ron and Karen were working hand in hand
And
together.
they're GCPs.
Yes, they are. And Karen considered herself, she didn't consider herself black. Now, here's the thing.
Well,
When
they
all this
don't.
took place,
Coons aren't black.
well, when
Coons
when
coons
when
aren't
all this took place, Karen was concerned, and the socialist, little communist people that are down there now.
You mean the University of Chicago crowd?
Well, these are the progressives up north, the communists, not the University of Chicago. The actual, so the people at the union are all Marxists, including Brandon, Stacy, communist, and Jesse Sharkey was a socialist. So that's who's at the union:
Hmm.
socialists, Marxists, and communists.
Okay, well, let
Women.
me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Do these leftist people like black folks? Because I know a lot of people. They just, oh my God, they hate Donald Trump. They just have so much hate for Donald Trump. But there's no smoke for anybody else. So are the communist liberal people? Do they love black people? Are they going to give us cruise ship trip tickets back to Africa? What's their thing in Chicago? Tell me.
Well, in Chicago, the way that they treat black people Have you had a pet or a dog or something that you really like, but you know that dog can't not is not human? That's how they treat black people here.
Hmm.
They want to control you
Hmm.
like they're doing Brandon. And like if they can control you, they have to control you. If you can be their little puppet, you're fine. You have to do what they say. And there is no advocacy for black. I can personally ask anyone. When I came to the union, they found me at Push, and that's what I wanted to say. When Karen, uh, the socialists all came after her. They were because they believe in unions, and they were going off on Karen, all these socialist Marxists writing stories about her, and that's when Karen turned black.
Oh, was the story true? So she black the same
Yeah,
way
she turned black and
okay.
she ran to Operation Push
Mhm.
and got under Jesse Jackson. Now we have been meeting at Push before we met Karen. They
Okay.
met us meeting at Push, the
Let me
court.
ask you a question.
Hmm.
Pro or con for the Reverend Jesse Jackson? Where do you stand with him? You think he's a
Well,
major?
I'll put it like this. We did not know, the teachers, that we were bait. We didn't know. We thought we were meeting there, that we were going to get help. And we did not know the reason why we were welcome was that we were bait to get money from the union. And so we were used to, I mean, we met there at free of charge for a couple of years.
Jesse doesn't
And
do anything free.
yeah, and
When they
we
come to
thought,
our
what a
praise
nice,
school for the teachers who help our children,
right.
we must support them.
Yeah.
I'm taking bribes and payoffs from the city of Chicago because
Well, what happened when we met there? I mean, they were very gracious. We had full
well,
access to
Mrs.
everything,
Jackson, there's some
and
nice people in the family. I'm just saying that, you know, the biggest holes aren't in the strip joints in our community. The biggest holes that we have are our representation. I
yeah.
mean, you haven't seen holes like these. You need to come down to DC. I use the word
But
hole.
well, we said
all-
we have plenty of them here.
Well, no, DC has more per capita than you do.
Yeah.
This-
Well,
I mean, the whole Congress, they holes too. I mean, it just this place.
I think it's nationwide. I
Well,
really do.
no place is like here, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is about the
Well,
nastiest
I don't
place.
want to come there if it's worse than
And I love, but it's so they're so nasty. It's so nasty, and so and all the
we're,
hoes from all over the country have homes here. So your hoes that represent you, they have a house here. We have our hoes and your hoes too.
yeah.
This is like a
Well, you
whole
got.
vacuum. I mean, it just sucks in all, even foreign molesters and all. They all come to DC. It's like,
Yeah, I
which is
can
why
believe that.
this is
I
why
can.
if you came here, if you met real DC people, I'm sorry, I'm not being different. In DC, we always talk about people because we're constantly seeing just outrageous stuff from all over the just it's mind blowing. Everything from Joe Biden assaulting me and nobody did anything, to people doing stuff. And oh my God, folks, I mean, everybody knows the Congress people rape stuff. I mean, like, remember, didn't you hear about the boy, the Senate staffer that was getting screwed in the Senate hearing room and it all disappeared?
Oh yeah.
Why do I
Well,
keep
there's a similar
you
thing
didn't
that
hear about that? No, he put it up on TikTok. It's
yeah.
not they publicize it. There's some ritual of getting screwed in the hearing rooms with buck
Hmm.
naked. This
Hmm.
place is wild. I mean, some of us don't even go outside right now, and it's gotten really weird ever since Obama. Now, let me ask you. I asked Sister Temple. They have worked to make people completely hate Donald Trump, who is problematic and repellent in many ways. But
Right.
do you think Biden will just get 95% of the black vote in Chicago in November?
Absolutely not.
So you
Absolutely.
so are
No.
you saying that black folks are going to look and say, "What's best for me?" As I said,
Yeah, well, the younger gen, now, we've got the older people, and so, I was just telling someone, I had to deal with these people coming up because uh, there were plenty of them saying, don't play the race card. We had a generation of people, the younger baby boomers, that really got screwed. The older ones were okay, but they still had that plantation mentality, and they've had it for a long time. So those people who are in their 60s and older, 65, well, they are, that they're probably going to go Democratic.
they
But
got vaccinated. We're
yeah,
not going to
you can
see
just
them
give
much
them over to
longer.
the party.
Yeah, but
The younger people, thank God, are different. The younger black people haven't been brought up to be subservient, and the Gen X crowd, and definitely not the millennials, but the Gen, because the millennials have caught hell. So, and they're smarter and they're brighter. So if the older black people are the ones that go to the polls all the time, they'll be doing what they do. But I doubt it. I doubt if he would get 60% of the black vote. Probably less than that.
wait. You're saying that Trump could get more than 10% of the
Oh,
black vote?
definitely. Definitely. I'm looking probably 30 or 40%.
Why so much? I mean, 15 would be respectable. Why would Trump be someone that black people would vote for? You know, he's the most racist person in all history. Donald Trump hit the slaves in the head with Plymouth Rock. Donald Trump blew up Black Wall Street. Donald
What
Trump started slavery. Donald Trump created Plessy versus Ferguson. Donald Trump is the one that did the Tuskegee experiment. I am so sick of black people. I mean, when they believe that, how can a person that people have been taught to hate for years? I'm not taking your call.
Okay, but what people have got to realize, if we look back in history, it was really Biden who was doing all years ago. Donald Trump was hanging out with Oprah, Muhammad Ali, paying for Jesse Jackson's campaign, doing
You
all
can
of this
drop
kind of
Oprah.
stuff
I
late
don't know
earlier.
Oprah.
He just became a racist when the Obama situation came up, when him and Obama got into it. So he's a racist.
But
But
Obama doesn't want to be black. To me, when Trump was attacking Obama, it felt good. Have you looked at Obama's birth certificate? And it says he's African as a race. That's not a racial classification, because I have friends and stuff from Northern Africa that are classified as Caucasoid, not as African. They're even making people from Ethiopia in some places say that they're Caucasoid on their documentation. How in the early 60s does he have Africa down and his country? I mean, that's not Africa's not a race. Is
well, his father's African, and back then, they didn't distinguish.
hold it. I'm going to challenge everybody to look at Frank Marshall Davis, who's from Chicago, a communist from Chicago. And I will challenge you as an educator. You need to look up Frank Marshall Davis. In fact, you can go online right now and you can look up Obama's mother, Dunham, I forget her first name. And this man has nude pictures. Frank Marshall Davis, a black communist pornographer from Chicago who lived in Hawaii, has dozens and dozens of naked pictures, even lesbian love scenes with Obama's mother. And he's around her all those years with her clothes off. He looks just like Obama, the African man that doesn't look anything like Obama. And yet Obama looks like the pornographer that has naked pictures of his mama. I would say, hey, wait a minute. I'm not saying the African dude isn't the father, but
Well, he was married to her, the
he
African
was
guy.
he was married. But hold
Yeah.
on, let me just say this to you, and because I don't ever try to tell people what to think, but I encourage people to think. This African dude gets a white woman pregnant in the early 60s and just goes to Harvard and doesn't provide any money or financial support, and they were good with that. That doesn't make any kind of sense, that you let an African spear checking dude come and bang up your daughter, marry her, and then go off to Harvard and get other women, and y'all didn't fight or demand child support or nothing. uh, I don't know. I'm not trying to say I can read the mind of a family, but you mean my daughter has been impregnated by you, you disappear, and you're in Harvard? I'm thinking as a white man, I grew up with white bigots. I would have made a phone call and said, you got a nigga in your school that got my daughter knocked up, and his scholarship would have been pulled. I'm trying to figure out, how do you not provide anything in Obama's life but a basketball? And there's no court, nothing. And he gets to go to Harvard and all these big schools. And the family never asked for anything. And yet Obama told us he was poor and that he had to struggle. And yet his mama works for the Bank of Hawaii, which launders money for the CIA for its operations, killing people in Indonesia and in Southeast Asia. I don't get how, when we've not asked questions there. And why does Frank Marshall Davis look like Obama? How do you allow, I'm talking about a white family, you allow a black man that's friends to your dad's friends taking nude pictures of his underage daughter,
Mm.
and you don't think, if I can get you to make gay love scenes and make videos, and if I can get you to take your clothes off for me, couldn't I get you to have sex too? It's not reasonable. I mean, not one, but hundreds of sex nude pics. I mean, and she's with him alone with her clothes off regularly, and he's not paying her. And you don't think some sex could happen, and then a baby looks like the pornographer? Are you on? You need to look at that.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to see it, but when you start, ask yourself. Hold on one second. Hey, you know what? Um, let me see if I can send this to you. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to invite you. I don't think I can, but I'll try. In 1 second, okay? I'll send it. All right. Bye. Are y'all understanding me? Um, I, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but when a man looks
Mm.
just like somebody, and your mama walked around him with no clothes on for years, and you
Why?
still think in, I mean, I'm thinking because you're having sex with them. I mean, unless you ladies in a different generation, you walk around with your clothes on and hang out with the man nude and make gay love scenes and stuff, and you're not intimate with him. That's a strange friendship. And he's an older man that's older than your father, and this is in the 50s. Help me to understand something. How could that not be possible, that this man hit her up and he would take Obama to sex shops? This same person. So this man's a freak. He's into free love and all of that. And you mean, if I'm into having sex with whoever will have it with me, how did he get to take nude pictures of her regularly and he didn't do nothing? Never. And yet the kid
Well,
looks like you. That's all.
Mm.
I'm not trying to browbeat you. I'm just, if you want me to send you some pictures, not that you want to see her because it doesn't look that good.
I want to see it.
You do?
Oh, I do.
Okay. I let me tell you something. I, I got my phone. I'll pull it up right now. And this has been going on for 20 years, and black people have refused to open their eyes. I'm not asking you to hate Obama, which I personally do, but I am asking you to ask questions.
Mhm.
And what's her name? Her name is Dunham. And I need to ask nude pictures. Obama's mamas. I'm gonna go into Google. Y'all can all do this with me. Type in Obama's. Let's see if we can get Obama's apostrophe F. And the fact that black people haven't seen this, we've had our heads in the sand. Obama's mother's nude nude photos. Let's see if I can get those from Google Images. And all these people from Chicago calling me. Okay, I'm going to images. Oh, here it is. Mm, mm, mm. All you have to do is look. I dare you to look. Look, damn it. Look, damn it. That's Obama's mama. It's been sitting here for years. I'm tired of black folks with their heads up their asses. That's how you end up a slave. It's sitting there. And I could pull up the picture of Frank Marshall Davis, who looks like Obama. And I'm thinking, you walk around with no clothes on, naked. I mean, no sex. I'm just saying, before you came, I talked about black men lack of dick control. That's a hell of dick control for a hedonistic man to have a naked young girl walking around him, hanging around him on a regular basis, coming to his house for free, and he didn't touch it.
Hmm.
That's like saying putting Joe Biden in a room full of kids, thinking he won't touch somebody. Same way he groped this boy, groped a black boy's penis right here at the elementary school a mile from my house, and there's been a news blackout because people like him because they're so mad at Trump. He can grab a little black boy's dick, and it's not newsworthy. And someone said sugar daddy. No, sugar faggy. This is and Frank Marshall Davis. Look him up. It's real. It's not my opinion. I would to God this was all in my head because I could say I'm wrong. I made a mistake. I didn't know what I was talking about.
Mhm.
But when our folks, oh well, it's not that. It's not what you think it is. Do you want me to get a picture of Frank Marshall Davis for you?
I pulled it up already.
Obama holds his head, has mannerisms. You can't fake. You can't teach someone. The Obama that you see got coached by that black actor. I saw the Obama that was awkward in 1988. The Obama that I saw later is very different from the man I saw in 1988. Far more effeminate, the mannerisms all soft. Obama, somebody butched him up. Maybe it was Michelle. This, we need to open our eyes. Maybe we were lied to. If they'll lie about medication and people dropping dead everywhere and we don't know why it is, why not lie about who this man's daddy is? Why haven't people recognized that his parents work for the intelligence agency? They're working for the CIA over in Beirut, Lebanon. Why not acknowledge that the neon sign outside of Man's Country bathhouse that Rahm Emanuel and them used to go to, the symbol for the gay bathhouse that they had memberships in, looks like the Obama campaign symbol. I'm just saying, why won't people look? We got eyes. We're in a spiritual cloud of confusion and self delusion to not see stuff. Let me tell you something. I used to communicate with Obama's supposed black brother. They don't think he's related to them.
Mm.
I have, I'm just thinking, and when Obama's supposed aunt died up in Boston, Obama wouldn't even make a contribution to send his so called aunt's body home. As president of the United States, as a cheapie, he could have put her on a military transport at any time, free of cost.
Mhm.
He refused because he's not related to them. We believe what GCP and everybody else tells us. Okay, and that's why we've been told everything in the world's done and made by white people. And Sister Rosita, as I said to you, I'm learning today. I'm a grandson of the King of England. I mean, damn, and not one, multiples, not one or two, multiple queens. Saw Game of Thrones. That's my grandmother.
With
We've been lied
Michelle.
to about everything. I mean, it's not my fault. That's what I'm gonna do my presentation on this thing to talk about God. Um, we've been lied to about everything, and we've been lied to about Obama. We were lied to about Obama, and Obama's
Mhm.
always stabbed black people in the back. First time I saw it, yeah, if you live in D.C., you know what to look for. Like T.D. Jakes, he's a man of God. Hell to the no, his Walrus looking ass.
Walrus cakes.
He does look like a, or take Dick's Jakes. You know that he is not a man of God. It can't be. Uh, he's a scam of God, but not a man of God. Let me ask you this.
It seems like some of the major scams that's run on us within the past 20 years have come right out of Chicago. We have Barack Obama, and now we have Brandon Johnson.
You have
It's
Dyke Book, you have Jesse
yeah,
Jackass, you had a
yes.
bunch of people come out of Chicago. You it, it you have Black Lives Matter, Black Youth
Hmm.
Connected. You have a lot of very evil social engineering things that come out of Chicago. And you know what ends up happening? Whatever they do in Chicago always comes to DC. Whatever they do to you always, that's why I be paying attention to Chicago. I mean,
Hmm.
Well,
that's
it goes all over the country.
yeah, I know,
Hmm.
but see, DC is a political town that's run by Democrats. Like Chicago is a
Mhm,
headquarter of the Democratic Party. We can agree to that.
mhm, mhm.
DC is where it's implemented. So they do it
Hmm.
in Chicago and it comes straight to DC. That's why a lot of us pay attention to Chicago. I pay more attention to Chicago than here. If they do it to you,
Yeah,
I know
if
they're
they
gonna
get away with it. I mean, we were ground zero. We were the first schools to close in the country,
and then they
and
start
when they
closing here.
well, when they showed up in 2002 at our school, and they had prison buses outside the school to take us to jail. We didn't know what was going on in case we rebelled.
Mm.
And so I knew then. I remember going upstairs and we were packing, and I told the teachers, I said, they're going to use these test scores to um, close on all of our schools. So that's what they did, and then soon it was nationwide. Chicago 14,000. Then Michelle Rhee came to
And she came
your
to DC after
yeah
Chicago. No, that Korean slut. No,
she
she was
came to.
awful.
She
They gave
wasn't here. She was in D.C., but I know she was horrible. She should have
see,
been to jail.
but
But
you know what?
like Barbara Bird Bennett, they Barbara Bird Bennett went to jail because she had made friends with Karen Lewis, and they called themselves going to hook up and go after Rom, and they weren't able to do it.
Oh, let me show. This is Obama's mama.
Mhm,
This is his mama. And
mhm,
all of that is for Frank Marshall Davis. It's not for the African.
mhm.
And
Mm.
African men love white women. You mean you hit up that white girl one time? and immediately went to Massachusetts. The way I've seen African men grovel over white women, I
Mhm.
I can't I can't believe that, Sister Rosita, that he have
Mhm.
a white girl and the family let him do what he want, and he just left unless she was a complete dud.
Yeah. Well, well, he's not president now, and we got so much going on in our city.
Well,
We have a new
I
threat.
know, but you know what? He still runs the country. He runs Biden. He's the one
Yeah,
that's
he
with
does.
Lori. He's
He-
behind Scam Them Johnson. That
mm.
machine is still there, and they're looking at running Michelle Obama for president. What
Oh my
people
God.
Well,
would people
well,
vote for?
he's given Brandon his stamp of approval, but who's after? See, Brandon and them they were the complete opposite of the Democratic Party before Brandon won. They were the ones pushing against the system 24 hours a day. And their goal was
Well,
to
maybe
take
they
over.
were sleeper subouts.
Well, their goal was to take over the Democratic Party and move it to the left. That's what they're trying to do. So they're going along with anything the Democrats want so that they can secretly infiltrate the party. Karen Lewis had an email that she sent out that said that they wanted to be to the Democratic Party what the Tea Party was to the Republican Party. They wanted to push the agenda to the left. Mhm.
Rosita, can you speak to that first school, Wadsworth, that the illegal immigrants took over, uh,
Yeah.
and how the administration, of course, said that, well, not the administration, but the older woman stated that she had no knowledge, but then come to find out she did have knowledge and she is a part of the union, the teachers union,
Oh,
and that her campaign was funded by the teachers union, and
yeah.
how they have key people in the city council that are part of this union and a part of this movement to overthrow the Democrats,
Mhm.
and how
Yeah.
that school came to be slighted, made into a charter school by the university.
Mhm. Yeah, Wadsworth, the school where Natasha Dunn fought them. Well, Natasha was South Shore, but they were the first migrant camp, Wadsworth. But Wadsworth had been taken over by University of Chicago years before, and they had two Wadsworth. What they do is when they want to take a school, they will implant a charter into a school. So on this side of the room is the charter, and the other side is the public school. But the charter school is all freshly painted with new smart boards and computers, and on the other side is the broken down public old school that
Mm.
has
And the funding goes to the charter school side.
yeah, the funding, the extra funding. So when parents come in, I mean, who's gonna leave their child in the broken down part? Now, a lot of the parents wanted to be loyal to the teachers, and they left their children because they felt they were good teachers, and they wanted, but their kids were in a part of the building that hadn't been refurbished, had no computers, no smart boards, and you could literally, when you came in the building, you could look over here and see the charter school and look over here and see the public school. And they were just like,
Apartheid,
yeah.
apartheid in the school system,
But
And
and Chicago,
manufactured by the University of Chicago, that created the apartheid system in South Africa. We have that going on in a CPS system with our children.
so
right.
let me
It's
ask you,
criminal.
is America a racist country?
Hmm.
Is
That's your
Chicago
apartheid in Chicago.
is Chicago a racist city
Oh,
Yes.
probably one of the most racist
in the state of Illinois?
in the state of the world.
All right.
Okay, in the country, how
Yeah,
would you rate
in the
Illinois?
country, in the world. Chicago is
It's
pretty
bad.
bad.
It's pretty bad. Now,
Uh-huh.
let me say this to you because forgive me, I'm just being I didn't take my ashwagandha. I'm gonna take some natural drugs so I can calm down. I we need to have a bigger conversation. You
Mhm.
work with Mark Carter or Paul McKinley or any of those folks?
Yeah, I know them. Uh-huh.
Okay, those are friends or associates of mine. Definitely, Paul just called me, and I should call him and ask him and tell him that I have you guys on
Mhm.
because I'm serious that we need more conversations. I'd love Sister Rosita to come. And let me see, I just
Mhm.
have my Paul's number by heart, if I'm correct. 7 3. Yeah, let me call him
Mhm.
and see if I can get him. And we need to have a larger conversation. Hey, I'm talking to Sister Rosita on my platform.
Hi,
Um,
Paul. Mhm.
See, what you seen that thing I sent you?
no, I didn't. I'm doing something. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you?
I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
I said to you, I have Sister Rosita on my platform.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay then. Okay.
And so she said hi to you. Can you hear her?
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Paul.
Oh, I can hear it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you
Uh-huh.
doing?
Hey, I'm fine. We were just talking education.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
So we need Paul. I need you to come on the platform. We're now
Okay.
working because we're going to have Carl Anderson on tomorrow. If you know any
Okay.
people that have platforms, we're trying to get a coalition of people that blog and do platforms. So, because this stuff in Chicago is outrageous, what this lady's telling me. And you already know I hate Obama, so just
Well,
and that's
well,
just
I
you
can
count me in if he show up somewhere. I want to fight it.
I can fill you in on what's going on up there real quick.
Okay, well we're listening. Treat us white.
Okay. What's happening up here is the governor he he was at the Iowa caucus because he's going to run.
Oh my
He's
God,
going to run.
he's
He's
too
going.
fat to run, and
Yeah,
he's a
he's a tumor of the state.
GCP.
He's a tumor of the state. So he's going to run, right? Now, Ron Emanuel is going to raise him the money.
Hmm. That's
100
another
million
GC. Some more GCP. Damn.
Oh my God. Run for what? He's running for president?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Are
Wait,
you serious?
that's the kicker. Yeah.
That's been brewing a long time.
Mr. Pick a Ninja Pritzker is attempting a run for the presidency?
Oh, sick.
Yeah, he's been Temple. That's been brewing for a while.
I didn't think he had the audacity to pull it.
if you just slow down, I'm gonna make you gonna grow up. So they're gonna get Michelle to run as his body.
Is this
What?
president?
To
Yeah,
run as his
Michelle. So
VP.
all this is being done. Wait a minute. I told y'all just be cool and y'all can really be discussing. I told you, Chicago, everything is what's the nerve center for the Democratic Party.
That's right.
Intellectual capital is the University of Chicago. So what they doing here is Obama's wife because they figure that if they ran Pritzker, they could not get any Jews. Well, it's not enough Jews to vote him in, and white folks weren't going to vote Jew in office.
Mhm.
So they're going to have Biden is going to do what the president did in the 60s.
Johnson.
He's going to do a Johnson. He's going to do a Lyndon Johnson and say that he's not going to run, he's not healthy, and he will not accept
The nomination.
nominee. And then
I hope we can remember to say all that.
you will have a you have a president, you have a candidate that was not chosen by the people, but is chosen by the delegates. And that's what they're going to do. But the only wild card was the governor from Ohio. California. He is bidding for two governors, so it's gonna be a scrap about it. But the main thing, cut this down. Cut that down. Did you find it? Yeah, we've been laying down right now. Okay, cut this down. That's what I'm saying. You're the one that can't see it. This thing up lives ago. So that's the whole. That's what's going on in Chicago now. Chicago got the National Democratic Convention. So what we're gonna do in Chicago is this: we're gonna call a statewide Black Republican to come here, and we wanna everybody gonna say their little piece, and then 2 days or a day before the Democratic National Convention, all the Black Republicans nationwide, including y'all on the phone, y'all can come if you can make it, is going to come and we're going to caucus about what we want from the Democratic, what we want from the Republicans. And we're going to use the platform to interject all the things that the Democrats have done. We're going to utilize, and while we have this event, it's right in the middle. Day before the Democratic National Conference, all the international press will be there. All the international press will be in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the whole plan. And anybody from the national level, from every city, so we'll be. We have a brother represented from the state of Washington, D.C., Randy Short. Randy Short, what do you think that we should ask for the Republican Party, and what should our statement be to the Democratic Party?
MFM. I'm going to say MFM. I'm going to say motherfucking money.
Well, however you say it, you're going to get a chance to say it.
Oh, yes. We want some MFM.
And this
treat me like I'm a Ukrainian. Treat me like I'm an Israeli. Killing babies. I want to get paid like that.
That's part of the problem. The situation is to talk about how that that's it. I mean, y'all can fill in the punches.
So it's going to come out of Chicago, and that's what I'm saying to everybody on these platforms. We absolutely have to pay attention to Black Chicago. If you give a damn about Black America, what happens in Black Chicago matters. You don't hear me talking about Atlanta. I live in D.C. To hell with D.C. It's sinking in the water anyway. All the nasty people here. We have enough rainbow flags here to well, look, everybody got it. Even the dogs have rainbow clothes on. I mean, I guess they dogs turned out too. It's so nasty. I don't even go outside. It's just I get tired of it. Anyway, y'all pay attention to Chicago. I'm going to let y'all go because we could go for hours, Sister Rosita. I promise not to talk as much. But, we didn't get you at first, so I had to fake and be a fool to hold my audience because, I have a stand-up hold. But I'd like for y'all to come back. I'd like for us to do this because I believe, I want to say to you, you guys, you personally need to raise money. You need to do some kind of GoFundMe or something to get legal representation. I think if you knew who I knew and you could throw some bones at them and not out of your own pocket because you're fighting for everyone, you'd be in the position to get representation aside from what you've been able to do yourself. Because, the courts, it's a GCP hangout, right? It is. If you go in there, no matter how smart, in fact, I've seen the judges, they enjoy being nasty to brilliant people who didn't get a legal degree. Just to be nasty because, well, since you didn't get the degree, it doesn't matter. If the person can't write, can't put this stuff together, they have a degree, you don't. one has to have legal representation. My teeny tiny organization called Backpack, and I don't know, my colleague is a GCP whisperer.
Mhm.
So every now and then we're able to get GCP or somebody that knows how to rip
Mhm.
people in the courts. You shouldn't have to carry that cross alone.
No, I have legal
Oh, you do? I
representation.
didn't know. Okay, if you got it, I didn't know. Some people do it
Yeah.
pro se. I got you
Well,
confused.
I did do it pro se, but I was assigned legal representation.
Are they good, great,
Yeah, we're
committed?
getting ready to settle.
Okay, good. It's
Mhm.
not because I didn't know that when I spoke to you last. I
Uh-huh.
did not
Yeah.
want you to think that, you tell me you have a problem. We're not going to think about something practical to try to help. But
Right.
if you've got that, I'm elated because it's thinking, I hope
Right.
she's not fighting them all by herself. I've seen brilliant people just get messed over. They had the argument, they had everything.
Right.
And the judges are basically, they're the kosher mafia just says no. I said no because we can. The same way killing babies is self-defense. And I said it, I mean it. I need to stop here because I need to call Dr. Winters. And I want you to meet Dr. Winters. He's awesome. He's a great educator.
Mhm.
Um, and you're welcome. And I want you to meet Sister Eve. Sister Eve is I call her the Matter Minister of Space.
Mhm.
She works Twitter like James Brown did the Apollo. And we've got
Yeah.
to get this out before I want that to happen. My following is actually my following is big. They keep destroying it each time I build something up. They knock it down.
Mhm.
They don't want people listening to me, and I deliberately say stuff I know people won't like. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep telling the truth about stuff. But I
Mhm.
would love for you to have a greater following here and this megalopolis on the East Coast because if all of these folks start talking about what's happening in Chicago, the energy will feed into what y'all need. Y'all need to know you're not by yourselves. Y'all need to know that people care. Y'all need
Mhm.
to know that there are people paying attention to Arnie Duncan, and we pay attention to Verdoliak, and we pay
Mhm.
attention to Jane Byrne, and some of us pay attention. We sit down and watch. We follow the Chicago Housing Authority. We see how they built up when they wanted to put the new pier in and all that. They knocked down the housing and all. We've been paying attention to Chicago for decades. It's the largest black community in the country. If it happens to you, it's definitely going to happen to us.
That's for sure.
So please, I mean,
Mhm.
pardon my irreverence. I'm just having fun because Temple's like a playmate. We're both Aquarians.
Mhm.
And she acts silly. I start acting silly too. And I just can't stand Obama. I feel like doing a Donald Trump feel, right? Can you imagine? I just hope all you guys, all you uh, people of color, I don't know what to call you. They used to say niggers. Well, I don't mean that to be offensive, but I think that I would treat you a lot better than Joe. I think the only thing that Joe knows is he likes him young and he doesn't like him dumb.
Mhm.
I'm running to be president because I want to enrich my friends the same way Joe did his. But hey, I'll throw you some stimulus checks. I mean, I think you can get some Velveeta with the stuff we sent out. How did everybody like it? Wasn't it okay? It was really huge. When I would send out checks, people could, people started eating spam again. They were eating dog food. They were eating dog food with Obama. Yeah, they were. But I changed it. And I want to be your president again. I promise not to grab anyone by the pussy except for my wife, at least while there's a close security.
Okay.
I want to just say to everybody, I'm the greatest president. I'm going to end unemployment. I'm going to try to end STDs if I don't make any on my own. And it'll be a good one. It'll be really big if I get one. It'll cover your whole body. You'll be so impressed. Okay, now look, I'm going to let the people from Chicago go, but you guys voted for Bathhouse Barry, and his
No,
friends,
no.
his health is really bad. It's really, it's elder abuse. Look at me. I'm a figure of health and sensuality, white male power. Everybody
Mhm.
wants me, and you can get me if you vote November 4th or 8th. Just remember to get there. And they stole everything from me. I'm the one that's supposed to steal. How can anybody take from me? Who am I going to take from if they keep taking everything from me? I want to get back in there. We're going to kick all the illegals out. I'm going to, and you know what? I'm going to probably keep Kamala close to me. She's really good on the floor, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Anyway, so we talk about very difficult issues on this channel. And I try to add humor as my dear
Mhm.
mentor and friend, Dick Gregory. If you
Mhm.
only just tell people bad stuff, you depress our people. You need to add some humor. You have to have some sarcasm. Otherwise, if you just say, man, we're being wiped out, it's slow genocide, it's this, it's that, it's illegal. I used to be straight and just tell people history and all that. And I noticed what I thought would empower them would depress people and it would make them give up. So I said, you have to put a little bit of Richard Pryor in there, who I absolutely love. And he's from Illinois, he's from Peoria, not quite Chicago, but definitely one of my favorite people. And of course, Dick Gregory is just across from Illinois.
Mhm.
My mentor, C.T. Vivian, if you remember him, is one of my mentors. He's from Illinois. He's from, I think, Cairo. And so, anyway, I want to let you guys go. Sister Rosita, I know she's mad at me. The tempo, I've been so bad. But I'm thinking if they can deal with Mark Carter, they should be able to deal with me.
Mhm.
Mark
We're
Carter.
used to live wires.
Well, no,
Yeah.
we have to. We've got to keep it. I
Mhm.
try to add levity because it angers me. It angers me what I'm seeing, and the way we get betrayed by leaders. There's no good preachers. Uh,
Mhm.
no good. I mean, teachers getting fired. My best friend, one of my best teacher friends, who's perfect with young people, keeping people from killing themselves, and they've removed all the counseling services from DC schools. All of them removed.
Yeah.
It's just,
Ridiculous.
it just. So I try to keep it humorous because otherwise it's a very depressing situation. We really need to wake up. But I want to let you know, Carl Anderson's going to be with us tomorrow. If
Wonderful.
Mhm.
if you want to show up, you can.
Mhm.
I need to call Dr. Winters because I don't think I'm gonna do this show because I haven't finished. He wanted me to do this presentation, and I don't think people understand when you tell someone you want to do a technical thing, it takes you time to figure out what the hell you're doing.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be able to do it in an hour. I need to take about 3 or 4 hours because I don't know Google Documents. I know PowerPoint.
Mm.
And I haven't done that in years. But everybody, please like, share, subscribe. This is the Angry Black Men's Book Club. Get ready. We're going to have sound effects and other things as we cooperate together. Sister Rosita, if people want to
Yeah.
contact you, is there a way for you? If anyone contacts me, can I share your contacts?
Yes. Well, I have another website we're putting up. It'll be up very shortly, causeteachers.com
Cause
and
teachers.
and then we're Cause Teachers on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have and you can there's a Facebook page and a group, and you can reach us there. Plus, you can, if you want my phone number or
Well,
email.
look, you look all young. I don't want anybody doing anything inappropriate. So, I mean, I stick with email because I'm sorry, we had a conversation about black men and our conduct in regards to our sisters. And I'm critical of feminists, but I really can't stand faginists. These are like whore ass black men. They would hump on a beehive if they could find a hole. I mean, and no one can, man, that beehive's mine. That beehive is fine. That beehive is fine. You hear it humming? Oh man, the humming's turning me on. I mean, there's nothing that they won't bother. So I try to keep it with the email. So if
Okay.
so that way, if anything happened, because I learned when I was young, don't introduce and give women's phone numbers out to men. You don't know what you doing tonight, Rosita. I always had a thing for teachers, man. I got a big apple, right? And it's like, no, no, no. And then you come back and say, he tried to hit me up. And I said, he did. And they say, "You don't believe me?" Then I'm in the middle of a man and you acting gay, man. She you don't know. She sent me a thing of Trojans, but you didn't look. And it's like, oh God! And both people hate. I've had that happen one time too many with black men and black women. So I don't tend to give phone numbers out because you're not gonna blame me. I wouldn't do it. I didn't know he was gonna do that. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And I had
Yeah.
two friends of mine. They hooked up, and they both wanted to deny it, and then they blamed this up. I'm like, I
Well,
didn't do anything. Anyway,
well, you can causeteachers at gmail
okay,
dot com is also a email.
okay, I'm gonna put that up there too. Uh, so y'all, it's cause teachers
At Gmail.
at Gmail. Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
want anybody doing anything to any of your righteous WASI sisters. Aren't these beautiful sisters? We have some great black women in our community doing everything they're supposed to do. We need to be protecting them, supporting them, helping them. And I'm gonna say something to some of the sorry ass black women out there. Y'all talk more shit about how black men don't do this and don't do that, but you women don't back each other up. You guys are like cats on crack.
Hmm.
Sisters, this sisterhood should be operationalized to protect these damn children. And the
Mm-hmm.
jobs of people serving your children when you're off at work or when you're rolling blunts with your boyfriends, trying to take loads wherever you're hanging out. We need to support and give a damn about each other. Everything that this sister has told us, these two sisters, is a consequence of us not giving a damn about each other. And what's the
Yeah.
solution? It's God. Love neighbor as self. If we gave a damn about each other, people wouldn't dare treat us like this. It isn't
That's,
that our issues are so strong, it's our resistance is so weak.
mhm.
Let you guys go. I love everybody. I got to call Dr. Winters and get cussed out by another Chicagoan for being late. Oh,
He
Lord.
already knows. He
Oh, give,
knows what's going on. It's in the air.
give me strength, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Anyway, thank you. Please come back, Sister Rosita. Bring all
Okay.
the angry. I want the maddest black. I want Queen's sister.
Uh
I she is so crazy. I love Queen's sister. I mean, have her go off. I mean, I remember I had to lay on the floor and just laugh. I put my phone on the floor, just got on my back and just howled, and she went off on people.
oh. Mm-hmm.
I hope
That's
she.
Queen Sister.
I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay. So you be good. You call me if you think I can help you. I'm just a broke ass DC nigga trying to keep it.
Mhm.
Um, I'm smart. I'm smart in what I look, and I'm resilient. There's got to be something that we can do around this.
Mhm.
So reach out. I've heard so much good. I believe hold on. I believe every single word that Temple tells me about someone. So I heard
Mhm.
that you walk on water. You like a
Mm-hmm.
jet ski with Lola Falana hair. So I know that you got it working. So you call
Mhm.
me if you think I can help. I wanted to create a space, and I'm going to work on it so um, we can hear the concerns of black women. And I
Mhm.
only thing I don't like for people to do is you can't promote feminism and you can't like Obama. Please don't like. I mean, that make me want to fight. Everything else I can like deal with. Just no feminism and no Obama. And you can like Michelle. I mean, she'd probably be the greatest black male politician that we've had in this
Oh
nation.
my God.
So I'm looking forward to. No, I think she's a woman, but that's going to be the question. They're going to have fun with her, man. They're going to have fun if Michelle runs as president. Can you imagine all the retainers people be sending red, black, and green and all sending stuff up to her, getting their coupons for anyway? But I think she's a
They
woman.
must really be desperate to be pushing this envelope.
Yeah, I think she's a woman. I've always thought she's a woman. She looks like Patrick Ewing, but she's a woman.
No, I'm speaking about the pushing the agenda of Pritzker and her. They must really be desperate. So we must really be making them
You
nervous
know,
with our.
remember, you know, the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory musical was out. Have you ever noticed that Pritzker looks like a Oompa Loompa with herpes simplex 2 on his face?
Oh
He
my God!
has
I
such,
don't even look at him. I can't abide
he has
him.
such bad complexion. He
Well,
looks
well, he's been thinking about this for a long time. We've been hearing it's been
like
brewing.
he's thinking about his,
Running for president. Yeah,
and he
a
looks
long
so
time.
greasy. He looks like,
Yeah.
oh,
But these people will vote for him. What do you got? Look at what we got at the. They keep voting these people in.
well,
We got to be strategic.
well, I'm going to tell you, one of the reasons I want to highlight WASIs is that the backbone of this bullshit in the Democratic Party are our older sisters that have lived a long time. They're the ones that vote straight ticket. If Hitler were up there, they'd vote for him. He
Right,
wouldn't be good if he wasn't up there. So
right.
they just
Hmm.
and believe it or not, I don't know if they do it in Chicago, but in Maryland, they give people the voter guides and the people that
Yes,
vote,
yes.
they just vote all the way down. If you make the list, that's it. The people don't know who you are. If they put a dog up there, I mean,
Hmm.
up
Right.
some manure up there, they'd vote for it.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
it's the
Anyway,
same here.
okay, I better let you go so I don't get
Okay. Good
cross.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Much love
Good
to
night.
y'all. Bye
Uh-huh.
bye.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
Okay, y'all. This is our trial run of YC Speak. I had a lot of fun. If you know any serious, angry black women that have something to say, and they're not trying to like hate on black men, and they're not trying to kill babies or push the Democratic Party or push the racist right wing of the Republican Party, uh, their voice is needed. We need to encourage black women to use those critical thinking skills. There's more ways to get things done than twerking. I believe that. I stand by it. I've been around powerful black women that got stuff done, and those are two fighters. So I want everybody to do this, and I'm going to see if I'm going to reach out to Dr. Winters because I want to get this thing done. I'm going to see if I can get Dr. Winters. He wanted me to do a Google document, and the show ran over because the ladies came in late and this, that, and the other. And I don't think I have the time to do that, even though I have pictures. And that's what he wants. So, I stayed up all night doing research and talking to a friend who's dealing with an abusive husband that's a bigamist. And I needed to sleep. I didn't sleep. That's why I'm sort of tired. To try to do that and do this is kind of crazy. So I may ask him to push it back to tomorrow. That way I'll have more time. But I do want to do that. So, wouldn't you rather me have the visuals? Because I can kind of show you what it is that I have. Is I was taking pictures. Uh, what I want to do is show the links between the ancient Moors and my family. And a couple of weeks ago, I made an announcement that I was some like great nephew of Queen Elizabeth I and Henry VIII, and that Henry VII was like a great uncle. And I was incorrect, and it was on the wrong side of the family. Henry VII is my grandfather, or no, he's my uncle. And actually, his father and mother are my grandparents. I'm a direct descendant of the woman Mary Margaret Beaufort, the woman who created the Tudor dynasty, is my grandmother. So, and unlike a lot of you, a lot of us are Europeanized Africans who have royal blood from Africa and Europe and from the indigenous people. And then we got more when they brought people over during the transatlantic commerce and Africans. So, it's not such a big thing to me. Just it's quite interesting to find out that you meet someone like Dr. Winters, who was telling me all this stuff, and I had been doing research in the family, and then all of a sudden find out I'm a descendant of these Moors that go all the way back. And it's a bunch of us. It's a lot of black folks who have these Norman names, and we are descendants of very great people, and some wicked people too. So I wanted to show that, and just talking to you because people don't listen to what you say. And I know we live in a coloring book world. I mean, one thing about porn is people would rather see a porno than listen to phone sex. And I get it. So I want to give you the graphic thing so you can see what I'm talking about versus explaining it to you. Because a lot of people, they're not so big on the radio. They like television and videos and such. So please continue to subscribe, like, share. This channel is moving forward. I'd like to be at 30,000, if not 35,000 views by Monday. My goal was to have 250,000 or more people have looked at this channel by the beginning of March. And we'll be working on the tech stuff. I'm not a big tech person, but I can. We'll Monday we'll be meeting with a sound consultant so we can do that. But tomorrow I'm going to definitely I may do this program with the seniors in the morning, do a salt, do Dr. Winters, and may do another salt after that, just so it's out there. And maybe I'll do some like religious stuff Sunday, because Negroes need God really badly. And the little liar nigger preachers in the church, grifters, don't even tell people it's in the damn book, and yet they're getting 10% of people's money. I mean, what a ripoff. You can't go to a prostitute and them offer you a Bible. They give you some sex. Seems like you go to the church, they shouldn't offer you a male prostitute called a pastor. Anyway, it's just my thought. May the Lord bless and keep you and keep his face, cause his face to shine upon you, give you peace. We need MFM. We need justice. Be coon busters, be WASIs, and be Wabros, warrior brothers. Do what you can. And tell people about this channel. Trust me, they want to shut everything down. They've made it very difficult. So, but we keep doing it. And donate. And don't worry about how much. It's nice when someone sends you a buck or two. It's just someone actually appreciated it, because it's not as easy as it appears. All right. I'm going to let you go. I want you to do what you can do to be involved in your communities, find a cause. There's a lot of things: trafficking, school closings, drugs. We need to get re engaged with the lives of young people, with families. We've got to do something. If we don't stand the hell up, we will be walked over and destroyed. It's left to you. The outcome of this story rests upon what you and I and each of us do as best we can. There are too few people doing too much work, and too many folks riding, coasting, BSing, whoring, doing silly stuff, getting caught up in a lot of dumb things: drugs, stupid relationships, folks you shouldn't be sleeping with, folks you shouldn't be with, shouldn't be getting high, shouldn't do it. If it's all about them conquering your mind, why are you taking things to alter your state of mind? You have to decide whether you're going to be a child of God or a loser Luciferian. And right now, a lot of us want to be loser Luciferians. Abortion is murder. Feminism is evil. Fagonism is despicable. Hold everybody accountable. That's my message. Live a better life, and life will be better to you. I'm out of here for now. If I get with Dr. Winters and he agrees to give me some time, I'll get back. If not, I may roll it over to tomorrow where I have more time to organize. I would love for y'all to see that I can be proficient with some technical stuff. Okay, let me let you go. Blessings, love, and peace. Take care. Bye bye. Why this? There you go. Bye, y'all. Bye. See y'all. And I'll put out a notice if I can get this going. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.